now. Take a step outside and seize the day now.
So lately, Frontier Airlines has been a bit of a disappointment for us.
Yeah, they canceled our last 3 flights.
And it's not just us. Listen to what this traveler had to say. We were exploring about Frontier. We found someone here at the airport and she has a story to tell.
Hey, when I was flying Frontier recently, I went to the airport. I had my boarding passes, got to the airport, and stood online and got to the front, and my flight got canceled. So
And they didn't tell you, right?
They didn't tell me.
They didn't tell you. It was a surprise. You walked up and the place was empty, it was dark.
And they didn't send me an email, but I had all the information that said it was available. United people, let me give the United people a real big plug here, because they came to me and saw me standing there, and they said to me, "Are you waiting for a flight on Frontier?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "There's no Frontier flight today." And then they were very helpful in getting me rescheduled on their flight to my hometown. But in the end, it cost me 3 times what I was supposed to pay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're hearing more stories about this with Frontier. As a matter of fact, our last 3 flights were canceled and they moved them to different days and it was very inconvenient. So we had high hopes for Frontier, but things just aren't the same. I'm not sure what's going on. So we've also heard that they're being really strict about carry-on bags and personal bags, and they're turning people away or charging them exorbitant fees. And here's a story that we just heard. So what happened?
Well, I was in Las Vegas airport and I had my carry-on bag that I bought specifically to fit the dimensions of Frontier's baggage limits for carry-on. And I was standing there and they said to me, "That won't fit. You have to pay $99. And I said, "Well, I have used it every other time I've flown on Frontier." And they said, "No, it's $99 at the gate." And they had a long line of people who had to pay the extra $99. And it was because they were told the same thing. And they all had evidence that their stuff was the right size.
They wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
They wouldn't take it.
No.
Wow.
So we all paid, and I think they were getting bonuses for stopping people.
Yeah. So I did look this up, and at the Denver, one of the local papers, they ran a story that the paper ran a story stating that Frontier gate agents are now paid a bonus if they turn you away and make you pay the $100 to bring your bag on board because supposedly it doesn't fit. So curious to see what happens when we fly in a couple weeks. 2 weeks after we returned from Dublin, we were scheduled to fly on Frontier. That Frontier flight had already been canceled and moved to a different day, causing us to change some of our plans. But we were curious. Were the new strict bag policies going to affect our flight? Were we going to see evidence that Frontier is really cracking down on the bags? And since Frontier seems to be trying harder to get people to pay for the extras, we never buy our seats when we book our tickets with Frontier, so we're wondering, were they going to stick us in the back of the plane? Well, after we took this American Airlines flight back to the States, we found out, because our next flight was with Frontier. So we've been kind of disappointed with Frontier, and as you just heard, our last 3 flights have been canceled, including the flight that we're supposed to take today.
Yeah, the one today was supposed to be a day ago and earlier in the day. Now we're going tonight. It's a late flight. We get in well after 11 p.m., which is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's kind of late to get to where we're going to go. And also, we just checked their baggage fees. To check a bag or to take a carry-on, they're now charging between $60 and $70 for each leg of the flight. So that means your bag could be easily $140 round trip for your bags just to carry it on the plane. And if you try to check it at the airport without doing it beforehand, they charge you $99. And for the flight we're taking today, they're saying that boarding will start almost an hour before the flight's supposed to take off. So I'm wondering, is that because the people at the gate are going to be checking and measuring bags to see if they can reject them and then charge you $99? I don't know, but we're going to find out. Now, as soon as we arrived to the Myrtle Beach airport, we received a text message warning from Frontier. Okay, so we're at the gate here waiting for our Frontier flight, and we just got a message that all personal items must fit cleanly in the personal item bin. Can't force it, it has to drop in cleanly. If not, it says you'll be taken out of line and forced to pay for a carry-on bag, which would be a $100 fee. So they've never given that warning before. They've never checked everyone's bags, but it sounds like now they're going to. So we're going to check Sue's bag and see how it fits. So personal item. And they said you can't push it. Oh, there it goes. It was good. All right, let me try mine. And you can't push it in. It has to fall on its own weight.
Uh-oh. It's the straps.
The straps.
Take the straps off.
It fits.
Wow.
There we go.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, so we'll see how this goes. I'm curious to see if they check people as they come on. Now, if you read their fine print, technically mine would not pass because the straps prevented the bag from dropping freely into the bin. So we just talked to some passengers who just flew Frontier last week, and they said that nearly everybody had their bags checked as they boarded the plane. So that would explain why they're boarding almost an hour before the plane is supposed to leave. And we'll see how this goes. So when it was time to board, the gate agent reviewed Frontier's bag policies, and they looked at our bags, but they didn't measure them. Okay, we're on. They didn't check our bag. They did get some guy who had a skateboard, and they wouldn't let him board with the skateboard unless he checked it. So, but the one thing about Frontier is the seats. Look how thin the seats are. I feel like I'm sitting on board, and not much room. But these seats are thin. Now on the return flight, they seemed more strict about the bags. Okay, so we're back at the airport, flying back to Myrtle Beach on Frontier. Already received my email or message stating that if my personal bag is too big and they're going to check it at the gate, I'll be charged an extra charge of around $99. So let's see how this goes. We got our bags back here, and we'll be boarding in about an hour.
All right, so we didn't pay extra for our seats, so they stuck us in the back, row 31, right by the toilet. We'll see how this goes.
So what we noticed at this airport was that there was a sign where your boarding zone was determined on whether or not you paid for a carry-on bag. There are also more gate agents here than in Myrtle Beach, and they made it clear that they would be checking everyone's bag when boarding to make sure they fit Frontier's bag policy. So the gate agent suggested everyone go up and check their personal bag, which everyone did, and then they're kind of watching to see whether the bag fits or not. And again, if not, it's a $99 charge. This time when we boarded, we saw the gate agents pull people out of the line because their bags looked too big. And when we boarded, because we didn't pay for seats, we headed to our assigned seat, which was the last row, row 31. Okay, sitting in the last row. So if you're in the last row, 31 here on Frontier, there's no window. And you can't see outside at all. That's right. Sitting in the last row of this plane was like flying in a closet. But the flight attendant took pity on us. So I must say, so there were seats further up in the plane, and the stewardess, or flight attendant as they call them today, moved us up, and we have a window now. Okay, so we're back in Myrtle Beach. Now, the reason we're kind of getting sour on Frontier is because of a couple reasons. One is their schedule constantly changes, and they cancel flights. They've cut back on the amount of flights that come and go from Myrtle Beach, which made a big difference. It's hard to get in and out of here. And they have very, very high baggage fees. and they kind of scrutinize people when they're boarding the plane. And we saw them take a couple people out of line. So because of those reasons, we're kind of sour on Frontier, and it's not going to be our primary airline anymore for budget and short flights. What do you think, right?
Right.
Yeah, so our new favorite budget airline is Breeze, but we'll probably still fly Frontier once in a while, so see how it goes. So until next time, safe travels.